to the table. We know everything, but we're going to go through LegalZoom. And I
Okay.
just kind of go, hi, friends. Welcome to My Divorce Real Estate. I'm Amber Gifford, and this is my husband and teammate, Scotty Gifford.
And today we have a special guest with us, Patrick McCallum, with Drew McCallum Law Firm here in the Houston area.
Woo! Hey, Patrick. Thanks for joining us.
Oh, I'm so very, very glad to be here. Thank you so much for inviting me.
Of course, we brought him in today because we thought everybody says, well, I don't want to pay an attorney and I don't want them to get all my money. And how can I do this? So he is a colleague and friend that we work with here in the Houston area who does what's called a low drama divorce attorney. So if you think that you're not drama, ask your friends first to make sure to see if you are or you're not. Well, we're going to be low drama. We're coming to the table. We know everything, but we're going to go through LegalZoom. And I
Okay.
just kind of go, okay, well, you might want to have somebody review your documents anyway. They're not in our county. And I guess, what are your thoughts on LegalZoom and compared to what you do?
So, LegalZoom is certainly a resource. TexasLawHelp.org is also another. There's a handful of them that are out there, and I do talk to people who either started there or have encountered that.
Mhm.
And the challenge is that there's some good information there, and those forms, might be able to get it done for you, but those forms can be very difficult to understand because they're following a form that is literally written in family code.
Right.
So it's not easy to read. It's not easy to understand. And sometimes they can miss some important kind of county level specific things. Like Harris County has some forms that are unique unto it that have to be completed and submitted as part of the divorce. Montgomery County and Fort Bend County both have standing orders, and those are supposed to be attached to the petition and referenced in the petition. And sometimes those forms miss something like that. And the challenge that then presents is when you go to finalize your divorce and the court reviews the paperwork and you don't have a lawyer with you, all the court can tell you is, I'm sorry, your paperwork doesn't meet the requirements of Texas Family Code in this court. I can't grant your divorce today. The court cannot tell you what's wrong with it because that is practicing law. And believe it or not, in Texas, courts are prohibited from practicing law. A court in Texas is an ask and answer system. That's all it is. And the paperwork is the ask, and then the order is the answer. And so all the court can do is say, yeah, this just doesn't meet the requirements. If you need to know why, you need to talk to a lawyer, but I can't grant your divorce. And so lots of times I'll get calls from spouses who are on their 7th try, 8th try, trying to get this done on their own. And they just can't. And
I
they
mean,
just can't.
that's just so typical of people, right? They want to go out and they watch YouTube video and now like, hey, I can do this. I can read, right? I mean, I always say I don't speak attorney, so like that's why I didn't try to do our divorce on our own, because it's like we need somebody like I go get a haircut from somebody. I go have someone change my oil, right? I have a lawn guy, right? I can do a lot of these things myself, but it's going to cost me, it's going to take me 7 times as long, like I say, and it's going to cost me more money probably in the long run because I've wasted so much time trying to do these things. So like, this is why we bring in people like Patrick, be like, hey, let us guide you. We've helped lots of people before, right? We don't need you to try to reinvent the wheel over here. Like, he's can help you down the road. He can help you fill out the paperwork in the right order and ask you the right questions that you might miss on something trying to do yourself. So I'm sorry to laugh, but I've seen it all the time. People just think,
oh no, it's completely appropriate. I made an agreement with a plumber many, many, many years ago that I wouldn't do my own plumbing and my plumber wouldn't do his own legal work. That was the agreement we made, and I've honored it. I'm going to continue to honor it. So.
Yeah, there's experts for a reason. I mean, that's why, we are licensed real estate agents, and he's a licensed divorce lending specialist. And yes, we know a gamut of things that come with that, but like, that's all we do is eat, sleep, breathe divorce cases that are going through divorce and helping them with their biggest asset. I mean, that's just, you want to have the experts, and I think that's important for sure. So back to processes though. I mean, basically we're talking, it's the same process, but where you're walking them through all these stages. Like you said, you can get it done in like 90 days, right?
Yep. Typically that's about my average. Sometimes a little longer, sometimes a little faster. There's a 60-day waiting period that starts when we file the petition for divorce with the court. So the earliest we can divorce is day 61. Sometimes we're ready then, but sometimes, it really just does take a little bit of time to get information back and, make edits and changes and make sure that the paperwork says what it's supposed to say and does what it's supposed to do. So about 90 days is right.
So I wanted to touch on too, like when you first get with an attorney, whether it be Patrick or someone else, you're doing litigation, you still got to be prepared. You still got to have a checklist. You still got to know your assets. You still got to know what your bank accounts are. Like you're going to ask all the same questions. This is not any different, but you guys the couple is talking freely about them to you. So you're aware, so we can talk about them and who's going to get what. And if there's a 401k, are you going to divide that with a qualified domestic relations order? Do you do those as well?
I do not. I have a specialist who does those. Those are subject to plan documents and requirements as well as approval by the plan administrator. And because the court has to approve it and then the plan administrator has to approve it, I have a specialist prepare those who knows those plan administrators and is much more familiar with those requirements than me. And the reason we do that is that if it's not done correctly, it can be very expensive to fix if it can be fixed at all. And I've seen a couple of occasions where it was too late and it can't be fixed.
I used to do QDROs, and the plan administrators are very, very, very particular. They come back and all kinds of stuff. So, if anybody is familiar with QDROs or having 401ks, this is no different. This is, again, coming to the table, making agreements on everything, even if you get to you and they have no idea what the heck they're doing.
Yeah,
for sure.
All right. As always, we're here to bring you real life experiences to all your real estate needs. Like and subscribe. We'll have Patrick's info above. Thanks so much.
Thank y'all very, very much.